Hey, Dr. Tom here with you with my brother, Dr. Paul. And we don't hold it against him, but he comes from the alternative side of the healing professions. So that's just one of those fun little inside jokes. So Paul is definitely one of the smarter humans I've ever had a chance to interact with, as well as being somebody who's well learned, well studied. Paul graduated from the University of Toronto Faculty of Medicine in, I think, what, 85, bro?
Yep.
Yeah, and so then did the whole sort of family medicine route, as well as emergency healthcare for a lot of years in a hospital setting, and was also involved in, you did on-call work at the psych hospital too, didn't you, bro, for a long time?
Did that for a long time.
Yeah,
Still doing that lately.
Yeah, and worked actually was the local physician for the community, or I guess the territorial jail sort of thing, right? Like that.
Prison for 21 years.
Lots of different parts to his medical practice, but then of the last, what, 10 years, 8 years?
Yep.
Yeah, I got really interested in something that's now commonly referred to as mindfulness, right? So just tell me how you get interested in the mindfulness thing, bro, and what you know, where it's kind of led you. What's that journey been like, and how'd you get started?
Well, you know, since I've been a little fella, I've been interested in living critters.
Yeah, I remember those days. You had the ant farms and the pollywogs and the jars and all that.
Yeah. And that led me into biology and medicine, and medicine led me into, you know, treating with drugs and referring people for surgery and doing minor surgery, and of course that works in a really good in acute settings and in sort of acutely ill people and certain things. But for chronic disease, not so much.
Not so good. Yeah,
not
not the answer for
the
sure.
chronic part sort of rules out the part that it actually works.
Yeah, because it worked, I guess it wouldn't be chronic. Yeah, good point by you.
It's a
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing. So anyways, there's clearly, you know, more to illness than just bugs and germs and wear and tear, that sort of thing. And
Couldn't agree more.
come to realize that there's more to life than just, you know, what happens to us. It's kind of like why things happen to us, and there's more to this beautiful life we live than just the, you know, the mechanics of it. And it's not just, you know, it's not just the bugs, it's the host, right? And then there's a lot of complexity to these hosts we call, you know, human beings, right?
Yep.
Yourself being one of the most complex human beings I know.
Yeah, thank you. Taking that as a compliment currently. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
So we have families, we have social issues, we got financial issues, we got career issues, we got mental issues, we got spiritual issues, we got physical issues, and it's just simply unwise to think of us as just purely physical, biological organisms that are just some sort of you know, predestined mechanics, and that you can fix everything with mechanics. So whether you're a chiropractor or a doctor or a surgeon or whatever you are, and you just simply answer, you know, why did something happen to you with just simply a mechanical explanation, you're kind of, you know, you may be helping, and but certainly in chronic issues, it's simply not complete. It's very common in our culture to answer, you know, why did something happen, with what. So what is always sort of the processes involved, but that's not why. Why things happen has to do with meaning and purpose and sort of the life story and the story that we're holding to ourselves, and that affects the body. The body is really tuned into this thing we call mind, which is made up of the awareness and the thoughts that we hold, and the awareness of the thoughts, and the content of the thoughts. When there's threat-based, that activates the autonomic nervous system, which has, as you know, very clear patterns that we all recognize, and both the sympathetic nervous system affecting all various organs internally, affecting the musculoskeletal system, tone, posture, all of these things. And so the content of our consciousness, you know, inherently affects the level of our autonomic nervous system, as well as the subconscious thoughts that we hold, right down to the DNA level. You know, there was a Nobel Prize given for research that showed that it was the stress that people held that affected the length of their telomeres, which affects their people's survival. So this isn't just airy-fairy, you know, new age
No, Nobel Prize winner.
Unicorn fart stuff. This is actually, Nobel Prize winning stuff. That stress affects the DNA, not just the autonomic nervous system, which we all know, but right down to the level of the DNA. And so that's it's not just somebody thinks that might be a thing.
Yeah.
It's not just airy fairy farty stuff. It's real. We all know it's real because we all experience stress. We know how it affects us. We know how it affects our body. We know how it affects our sleep. So anyways, it's a real thing. It's time for us all to sort of wake up to it and realize that there's a lot more going on than just what's happening. There's a lot about why it's happening, and it's not just enough to say you have this or you have that. You have to look a little bit deeper, especially when it's chronic, and look at why it's happening.
Yeah, for sure. So you're going to get a chance to come out to our conference in October, right? You're going to share some thoughts. What's top 1 or 2 takeaways you're hoping people might walk away from that particular conversation with? Deeper understanding of the power of the mind and how it integrates with the body might be one piece.
Yeah, you know what? It's just to reorient things towards meaning. I think Viktor Frankl. Maybe we've lost that message, but Viktor Frankl. Everybody hopefully knows his book, Man's Search for Meaning. Prison camp survivor in Auschwitz, gave up his food to the other inmates or survivors. Didn't get his energy from the cornflakes he got.
Right.
Didn't get any cornflakes.
No cornflakes.
Nope. He got his energy from the meaning and the inspiration, and he got from the meaning that he found in very almost impossible to find circumstances.
Yep.
Right. So if he can find meaning in Auschwitz and live through that without food and giving his food away to people so they had a chance to live, so he could tell the story, I think we can do that.
I think there's other aspects to what we could accomplish in life, brother.
So we see that you get the most important energy in your life. Yeah, food's important. Obviously, those guys got malnourished and really cachectic, but it's just we need to reorient ourselves around meaning in life and how that affects our lives, how it affects our health, and that illness is really part of life. It's not the enemy. It's part of life. It's bringing meaning back to understanding of life and illness.
Oh, very cool. Well, listen, we really hope that you get a chance to join us in October. Get a chance to go through the Blueprint to Mastery program, and our keynote speaker here, my big brother, Dr. Paul Preston, is going to be here to lead us through some amazing awarenesses and experiences and understandings of the mind, the body, and the spirit, and how they integrate and how it can bring more meaning to your life, both personally and professionally. So really hope you get a chance to join us. And we've got a really idyllic setting here from where we're shooting this little video. So I think I'll close this out, bro, by just giving the audience a chance to have a quick look at what we're looking at here. This is definitely, I think Blake Shelton is actually singing a song right now. It's called God's Country. And I would definitely going to say that this piece of the puzzle is going to be fitting of that. So we'll just give them a little quick spin tour here. So again, please join us October 5-6, Toronto, Ontario.